Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. And for those who are new, thank you for watching our channel. Remember, I gave you the advance notice that I was going to be working on the melt and pour with the shea butter. Well, my biggest problem here in Puerto Rico is that because of the high temperatures here, there's a lot of humidity. And I wasn't able to do these. The only thing I could do was just a squared soap. And as soon as it was done, that it was out of the mold, I had to quickly wrap to keep it from sweating. And even then, it would sweat. So I started researching until I found out that kaolin clay can be used to make it into a low sweat bar of soap. And I didn't think it twice. I purchased the white kaolin clay and I used it. And on account of that, I was able to make my flowers, my inbeds for my cold process soap, which I just want these for decorations. And these soaps have been made already because I made them for the Spanish channel. They've been made for 5 months already. They're still here because I just started doing my soaps this month right now. And so my tips, because there's many things that I had to learn in order to work with this. It took me 6 years of being in Puerto Rico, of try and error, and a lot of money spent in order to be able to do this. I'm not even talking about doing a regular size soap. First thing is first, which is that you cannot heat it above the norm temperatures that are required, because in Puerto Rico, if you overheat the soap, you're going to ruin it. You're going to burn the living daylights out of it, and it's going to become rubbery. It's going to lose its qualities quicker than out there in the US. Therefore, my normal temperature in order to do these was between 110 to 120. And I would, because these molds are small and only has three of these or three different ones, in total they would weigh out 1 ounce, 30 grams. So I would do two molds at a time. So I would melt 2 ounces and quickly pour them. This one, all I did was just pour directly and sprinkle because it's a decoration. It doesn't need any coloring, it doesn't need any fragrance. And I just sprinkled on top the gold color because these were thicker and I was going to use them as sample bars, as sample soaps in order to give out in any place that I would be invited to as an event. This I colored, but I colored with mica. I actually, for every ounce, I used 1 gram of color, but this is powdered color, also 1 gram of white kaolin clay. So when it was in its liquid state, instead of it getting more liquid, it would get more solid quicker. Therefore, in this case, I would only use 1 ounce at a time. It is tedious, but that's how I got this result. And it works. These soaps are 5 months old, not a single drop of sweat. And I let them out for almost a week before I decided to wrap them, just to make sure that they weren't going to sweat. So it works. And will I place fragrance as long as I'm just doing embeds? No. Embeds do not need any fragrance, do not need anything else other than color. And there's many varieties of melt and pour available. I chose the one with the shea butter because I wanted it white and I didn't want to go into having to dye it with kaolin clay or having to dye it with titanium dioxide. white titanium dioxide. But in the long run, in order to keep it from sweating, white kaolin clay is a must down here in Puerto Rico. And I love the way they work. They are amazing. And I am going to show you which was the first soap I used this on. Okay, here we go. This is a cupcake. I usually watch Eden's Secret 1, which is her channel, and I looked for cupcakes. And when I looked at it, I love her cupcakes. They're gorgeous. The first soap that I tried was from her channel. I ordered it, and it took 6 months for it to get from England down to New Jersey. But I got it. It worked wonderfully. And what I did was, once I used it, that I saw that I was not allergic to it, then I decided to use her recipe and I tweaked it. And when I was looking through her cupcakes, I found one that had the recipe I used. And through that recipe, I made this one. Now, this one I had to water it down because it started getting too thick way too quickly for me due to the temperatures here. So, therefore, it looks more shiny and more soft. So then I tweaked the recipe in order to do the next batch. And this is what happened. Here we go. This is the one I just made, and this is in the Spanish channel. And how I tweaked the recipe was that I made two separate batches instead of just one. I made the cupcake batch first, and I made the cupcake. And once the cupcakes were already hard, that could actually support the frosting, then I made the frosting batter just to give me enough time to pipe it onto the cupcake. It's already been out for, wow, today we're on the 5th. It's been out already for 4 days. It's been done. It has 4 days of being done, and it's extremely harder than this one, less moist, meaning that it holds better in hotter temperatures. And there goes a butterfly, which was at the same time that I made these, I made the butterflies, and I like my results. So, God willingly, next week I will redo this soap again, and I will give you the recipe, the original recipe, but I will show you and I will guide you how I did the cupcake, the certain the certain things I was looking for in order for me to know that it was already time to pour into the mold, and when it was ready time to pour into the piping bag and pipe. There are certain tips that you need to know in order to be able to do that. So, if you like this information, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share so that you may learn and I may also be able to teach others and share my knowledge. And believe me, the channels that I talk about, if you have a chance, go in, look at them, and subscribe and study them. They have tons and tons of gorgeous soaps, ideas, and they also have recipes. Plus, I recommend their soaps because I've used them. If you don't want to do any, you can go uh, um into their stores and purchase directly from them because I'm just starting right now. And it's going to be a while before I have everything set up that I can actually sell through the internet. Right now, I could only sell locally here in PR. So, God bless. Take care. Till next time. Ciao.